Hello, this is Mike with Easy Archery Lessons. Let's talk about the specifics of exactly how to shoot. So we're going to split this up into 3 different videos. The first video is going to be the pre-shot, everything you need to do before you actually shoot. Second video will be the shot, and then the third video is we're going to be demonstrating the shot from different angles. So these techniques are just the basics. We can get a lot more detailed about all this, but learn these basics and try to apply them to what you do. But always keep in mind as well that you may need to adjust these a little bit to fit your particular style of shooting. But these are the basics of how to shoot a recurve bow. The first thing would be to get your feet set right. So let's look at this down here. So if this arrow is lined up right on our target, first thing you do is you put your feet about shoulder width apart, and you can start with your feet being perfectly perpendicular to the target. And then make sure you angle them out a little bit and they're about shoulder width apart. For me personally, I like to take my lead foot and pull it back just a little bit like this. That just opens up my stance a little bit towards the target. This is what works for me. You can adjust your stance a little bit, but the key is to be about shoulder width apart, be nice and steady. And then you got to make sure your knees are bent when you shoot, and you're going to be shifting your weight to your forward foot. Now that you got your feet set, the next thing of course is to put your arrow on the bow. So you should have a nock set up on your string right here, and you put your arrow right underneath that nock, just like that. Make sure that you have your feather pointing out, because if you have your feather pointing the other way, it's going to hit your riser and that's going to deflect your arrow as it flies through the air. You definitely don't want that. It's going to mess it all up. But also you should see that the nock on your arrow is pretty tight to your string. It'll pop off, but it definitely sits on there tight so that it's not going to fall off on its own. And then after that, you need to figure out how you're going to hold your fingers. I have my finger tab on, but I'm just going to keep it behind my hand there for a minute so you can see that most people shoot a split finger. That's one finger above and 2 fingers below. It's called a split finger. Some people will shoot 3 fingers under, just like that, which is fine too. You need to do what's comfortable for you, but if you don't know, just start out with a split finger position. And then also, don't put your fingers too far in. If they're wrapped up to your knuckle, that's too far. You don't want them all the way up to your knuckle. You want them on the pads of your fingers. So hold them back a little bit, just like that. Just put your fingers on the string just enough so that the string doesn't come off. No more than that. So when I put my guard on, it's going to look like this. So I am right eye dominant, which means I hold the bow with my left hand and pull back the string with my right hand. So this is a right-handed bow. With your left hand, you need to keep your fingers pretty loose. Your top index finger can stay around the bow, but the other ones really sit kind of loose. And then also you have your hand tilted about like that. This is tilted too far, and you definitely don't want it underneath here too. It gets just too close to the string. So you want it tilted right in there. And what that's going to do is, that means that the support on the bow is going to be resting right in the V here and then tilting right down into this position. So this main muscle around your thumb is just on the back side of your grip there. And then when you get eventually to pulling back as well, first of all, you're going to keep both eyes open. Don't close one of the eyes. And when you come up, you're going to be canting the bow. You don't want it vertical. You want it canted a little bit. You can go maybe this far, whatever's comfortable. I tend to cant my bow right about there. But the most important part about your pre-shot routine is the mental part. So know that you can hit your target. In fact, know that you have hit your target and focus specifically very hard right on that one fact. And when you're aiming at your target, don't aim for the whole target, don't aim for even the bullseye. Aim for a little spot on the target, just the tiniest spot you possibly can. And the second part of the mental game is pretend like you're Superman. Pretend like you have laser eyes and you're just staring at that so hard You're staring at that one spot so hard that lasers are coming out of your eyes, and everything else is just fading away. You're focused on that one spot so much that you can't even see anything else. That's the pre-shot. Check out the next video where we talk about the shot, and then after that we'll be demonstrating how to shoot.